All right. Looks like we are back live in the Bree Hive. Welcome back to yet another Thursday live stream on the Bree Hive. Today, we have a couple of things going on. We have two cases that we're going to be covering. First, we're going to jump into this stream talking about Diddy and his lawsuit again. I know I said that we weren't going to talk about Diddy anymore, but this lawsuit is just so crazy. We cannot skip over. And then we're going to funnel into another stream where we're going to be talking about Lauren the Mortician's lawsuit against a couple of those TikTok stars. We have Rebecca Day, we have Caffeinated Kitty, and then I think the other podcast is like, Do We Know You? And I can't remember the name of the girls on that one, but we're going to jump into their responses to this lawsuit and the fact of why we are even still in this court when the court was a little bit confused on why the lawsuit was filed in that court. But we're not doing that on this stream. This stream is going to funnel into the Lauren the Mortician stream. So be ready to get pushed into another stream. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump back on Diddy, or not jump back on him. He seems to have a lot of issues. If you don't remember, or if you do remember, a couple of weeks ago, we covered the lawsuit where Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, longtime ex-girlfriend, filed a claim against him for SA and just kind of like taking advantage of her, right? Well, now we have another lawsuit, and there were some other lawsuits mixed in there as well. But now we have another lawsuit, but this time it's from a man. And I don't know about y'all, but I have been hearing for years that Diddy is a little bit on the down low area. Now, there's nothing wrong with men liking men or anything like that. But when you're like down low and trying to pretend like that's not what it is, that's when it becomes a problem. And especially if you're dealing with a heterosexual male who is the man that's filing this lawsuit, he considers himself to be heterosexual, and you're trying to push yourself on him, that's completely inappropriate and all kinds of other claims going on. Now, I will have to say my initial reaction to this is a little bit skeptical, just because why do you have so many photos and videos of the incident? But, you know, not victim blaming or anything like that. But I do want to know why he has so much evidence. I have never really seen this many pictures and videos listed in a complaint. And y'all, this complaint is 73 pages long. Now, as I said, we do have 2 live streams to get through today, so we're probably not going to read every single sentence and word in the. We're not going to read every single sentence and word in this complaint, but we are going to get into the meat and potatoes of things. I did kind of skim it, so it's going to be a partial live reaction to things, but super excited to get into it. But before we jump into the lawsuit, I'm going to go ahead and have Bossy bring us into the chat to see who's watching live. If you're watching live, go ahead and let us know that you're here in the chat, and we'll be right with you. All right, y'all. And this is going to be a shorter stream. We're going to funnel into the other stream around 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Right now, it's almost 7:30. So we're going to funnel into that stream in about 30 minutes or so. Make sure you do hit the like button. I'm going to be a little ambitious. We're going to make the like goal for this stream 30 likes. And if you want to hear more about this case, because like I said, we only got about 30 minutes to kind of scratch the surface of it, make sure at the end of the stream, or when the stream is uploaded as a regular stream or a video, I guess, make sure you hit the like button and comment that you do want to hear more, because I'm telling you, this case is crazy. So let's go ahead and see who's live. We got Kimmy Locker, our member, moderator, consultant, and paralegal of the channel, saying hello, everyone. Hello to Kimmy. Thank you for helping me grab the documents. Make sure y'all say thank you to Kimmy, because she pulled the documents and put some highlights on for me while I was running around with my head cut off, or like running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. But yes, thank you, Kimmy, and hello, welcome in. We got Alicia G saying, hey, Bree and friends. Hello, nice to see you again in the live stream. How are you? Happy to have you back. Just Me MD says, made it. Hey, Bree Hive, buzzing in and sending love from East Texas. Just Me MD, another member of the channel. Welcome back into the live stream. Nice to have you back tonight. I feel like I've been streaming a lot this week. Yesterday, I was on stream with Smalls, talking about hair and the Sikh religion. So if you guys missed that, make sure you go over to Black and Sikh. Check out the video. It's very interesting. You actually learn some, I don't know if they're cool facts or cool little details about me, but you learn a little bit about me and my experience with my own hair being in the profession that I am in. So if you guys missed it yesterday on Wednesday, go back and check it out. It's on Black and Sikh. That is Small's channel where she does podcasts on her religion and other topics that are important. So make sure to check her out. Kimmy Locker says, yay, long time no see to just me, MD. It's only been a couple of days, right? Kimmy Locker says, it's been a crazy busy week, but I've loved all the streams. Yeah, it's been a good week. And I'm surprised that I'm still running. I feel like I'm running on fumes right now, y'all. Alicia G says, great, happy to make it. Yes, we are happy to have you back here live for sure. And then Kimmy says, only one day was in the chat last night. Yeah, it's only been one day. It hasn't been too long. All right, so let's go ahead. We don't have much time talking about Diddy, so let's jump right into it. And y'all bear with me because I'm going to make this stream go into the other stream, and I have never done that before. So it might be a little bit of a hiccup getting you guys transferred all over, but bear with me on that. I feel like I got a little setup going, but I may need some time to kind of get my life together back here. I don't know if Kimmy can. I just pressed the button while I was talking. I don't know if Kimmy will be able to start the other one for me, so then I can jump over there. But either way, we'll figure it out as we go. Okay, let's just jump right into it. And of course, I forget to share the actual document. So let's do that right now. Let's see where we at. We got Diddy, and let's highlight it. We're going to share it. Okay, here we have it. We have Rodney Jones suing all of these people. We got Sean Combs, Justin Dior Combs, who is his son, Diddy's son. We got Ethiopia Hatamariam, Lucian Charles Grange, Christina Karam, Chalice Recording Studios, Love Records, Motown, Universal Music Group, Combs Global Enterprises, John and Jane Doe's 1 through 10, and then ABC Corporations 1 through 10. So basically, if I forgot somebody, I'm going to add you into the lawsuit later when we're talking about the Jane Doe and the ABC corporations. Now, this is a real trigger warning. There are pictures throughout this document. I don't know if Kimmy covered up some of the stuff with our bossy the bee for us, but because I haven't seen the highlighted version yet. But yeah, there are some pictures I'm going to try to scroll past because no one has time for all of that, what they got going on. So, and I just ate, so I feel like there's something, a rice or something in my teeth. So I hope that's not an issue. Okay, let's see here. We're going to skip over jurisdiction and venue. We got the parties. Plaintiff Rodney Jones is an American artist and producer. Mr. Jones resides in the states of New York and California. And then we got defendants, all of the people. We're not going to go through all of that. We got Diddy. I have not seen someone do a complaint where he puts pictures in for everybody. And like, these don't even seem like, they're not professional pictures. It's like he screen grabbed this picture and added it into the lawsuit, which is interesting. He goes ahead and talks about him and being on who he is, right? And then we have his son here. Nice picture, another screen grab, it looks like. Then we have Lucian Charge Grange, and I believe let me see what he is the CEO of Universal Music Group, who just took all of their music off of TikTok. Then we have Ethiopia Hatem, I don't know how to say her name, but all these people who basically work for the studios, put the pictures in, the logos of the studios and everything like that. Let's go ahead and get down there. And then we got little Rod Jones, who is the person that's suing. He's from Chicago, born and raised. He's the second oldest son and fourth child out of 9 siblings. He is he's from a long line of gospel music influencers, which is interesting because I thought influencers just came out, but nonetheless, he can be an influencer if he wants to. He began playing the drums, all the things. He was a child prodigy. We're not going to go through all of that. Let's see. Okay, here we go into kind of like what actually happened. His talents have led him to produce and create commercial marketplace for music that has been recorded for some of the most prestigious and highly acclaimed artists in music history. He worked with famous people. He received a call from Diddy asking to do some songs for him on his album, the Love album, Off the Grid. And Mr. Jones agreed to do this. Here's a summary of the events leading up to a lot of claims here. So we'll go through the summary of events. From September 2022 to November 2023, Mr. Jones produced 9 songs on Mr. Combs' Love album. Mr. Jones lived with Mr. Combs for months at a time, spending holidays, birthdays, and missing major family events. Mr. Jones resided at Mr. Combs' residence located in Los Angeles, California, New York City, and Miami, Florida. Mr. Jones also spent several weeks on a yacht rented by Mr. Combs in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones witnessed, experienced, and endured many things that went far beyond his role as a producer on the Love album. The claims raised in the complaint have been corroborated through witness statements, video and audio recordings, and images that Mr. Jones has in his possession. Mr. Combs, their names rhyme a little bit. Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to record him constantly. Okay, I didn't read this part earlier, so that's why he has so many photos and videos. On several occasions, Mr. Jones took Mr. Jones' cell phone, or Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones' cell phone and began recording himself. As a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recording of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. Now, hundreds of audio and other recordings. I would hate to sit through that trial. I would hate to sit through that. Mr. Jones has secured irrefutable evidence of acquisition, use, and distribution of ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, marijuana, and mushrooms, the displaying and distribution of unregistered illegal firearms, Mr. Combs providing laced alcoholic beverages to minors and workers at his homes in California, New York, the Virgin Islands, and Florida. Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Christina Karam, instructing her staff to retrieve drugs so she can provide it to Mr. Combs for his consumption. Now, this may be judgy. This may be a little judgy. How do you do that many drugs? Like, that you have people sending people to go get you drugs. Like, I could not imagine being under the influence that often. If anybody does drugs and you would like to let me know how you're able to do it so much, please do, because I'm confused. Okay. Christian Combs drugging and SAing a woman. Christian Combs, I think, is like the younger son. Mr. Combs detailing how he planned to leverage his relationship with Bishop T.D. Jakes to soften the impact of his public image of the Cassie Ventura's lawsuit. Dang. So because November 2023. So that's what was going on then. Young Miami's cousin and or assistant SAing Mr. Jones. Actor Cuba Gooding Jr. harassing and assaulting Mr. Jones. Rapper 3 redacted on Mr. Combs. Rapper 3 on Mr. Combs' yacht consorting with underage girls, workers, and R&B singer in Mr. Combs' Los Angeles homes consorting with underage girls and workers. So this is why we have Usher on the thumbnail. I'm sure you guys know this. And we also have, who else is on the thumbnail? Meek Mill. And so people are insinuating that this rapper and this R&B singer, those would be Usher and Meek Mill. And I think they bring up another, singer who is supposed to be Chris Brown. Does it surprise me that Chris Brown is in this kind of lawsuit? No. It doesn't surprise me that Usher would be in this kind of lawsuit. No, because I think that Usher was groomed by P. Diddy when he was younger too. So those who are groomed may end up grooming others. Don't know, but it doesn't surprise me that he's in it. Doesn't surprise me that Meek Mill is in this lawsuit. No, he just seems to get involved in whatever involves him. I don't even know what to say about Meek Mill. But Chris Brown had his own lawsuit of similar things, and I mean, it's not to make excuses for it, but it is the industry. This people do these kind of things. So here we go. The reason why they're saying it's Meek Mill is because of the footnote. Although they kept his name secret, they didn't put in the footnote that he is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. Who is that? Meek Mill. And then the other one is a Grammy Award-winning R&B singer. Okay, so this one was referring to Chris Brown. He's a Grammy Award-winning R&B singer who had trouble with the law enforcement after assaulting a Bayesian billionaire. And they're saying that is Rihanna, so it will be Chris Brown. Okay, so there we go there. Okay, and so there were a couple of things that happened throughout this complaint in which he said he witnessed. So we have Shalish recording studio shooting, present at the camp where Mr. Combs, his son Justin Combs, and Justin's friend named G. Mr. G is a 30-year-old tall African-American male. One evening during this camp, Mr. Jones, Jay Combs, and G were in a heated conversation. The conversation was moved out of the studio and into a restroom adjacent to where Mr. Jones was sitting. Mr. Jones was approximately 2 feet away from the bathroom when gunshots rang out. Mr. Jones recalls hearing multiple gunshots. When the door finally opened, Mr. Combs and Jay Combs exited. G was lying on the restroom floor in a fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out of his leg and hip area. Everyone stood around looking upon G, frustrated by the lack of aid to G. Mr. Jones dropped everything, ran to G, and immediately began placing pressure on G's gunshot wounds to his stomach. As he was applying pressure to his stomach, Mr. Jones realized that G was gushing blood from another area near his hip. Geez, that is traumatizing. Let's see. Mr. Jones asked the crowd to call the ambulance. Mr. Jones lifted G and brought him to the ambulance at the studio's front. At the time, Mr. Combs and Justin disappeared to another part of the studio. Mr. Combs gave strict instructions to inform police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling them that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant. So were the police not going to come inside of the studio? He goes ahead and attaches an article about the incident. Okay, he talks about how people have corroborated the thing. And then we have photos of basically the crime scene that he's alleging is the crime scene. There's blood in the bathroom. He said that the incident happened in the bathroom. It does look like something that could potentially come from a drive-by shoot. I'm not a drive-by shooting, but a shooting in the bathroom, not just him running into the bathroom after he's shot, right? Because that could also be the reason why something happened. Now, why G didn't tell? I mean, I guess when people are afraid, they are afraid of him. Okay, so not only do we have this shooting incident, we also have Mr. Jones was SH and assaulted by Mr. Combs. So we're going to get into this. And like I said earlier, people have made assumptions and statements about potentially P. Diddy being DL or into guys, which is fine. I don't see what the big deal is. It's very acceptable, especially now, maybe not at the time that Diddy would have had these things going on, but it's very acceptable now. So why not just be out in the open with it, right? Diddy decides that he's not going to, and it leads to him doing this to this guy who says he's a heterosexual male. So throughout his time living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was a victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his butthole. I mean, I guess anus is an appropriate word too, but by Mr. Combs. In addition to the unsolicited and unauthorized touching, Mr. Jones was forced by Mr. Combs to work in Mr. Combs' bathroom as Mr. Combs walked around naked and showered in a clear glass enclosure. Why do you need to work in the bathroom? Y'all are singing in the bathroom or something? As a heterosexual Christian man, Mr. Jones was uncomfortable with Mr. Combs' advances and expressed his discomfort to Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Christina Karam. KK also attempted to play down Mr. Combs' groping by Mr. Jones. This is like so inappropriate. His groping by his anus and his genitals. how does he get, I don't even want to go into too much detail. How does he get to the anus part? He would have to like put his hand in his butt? Is that what he's saying? As friendly horseplay, Diddy, okay. Stating that those acts were Mr. Combs' way of showing that he likes you. I don't want somebody playing with my butthole to show that. Oh my gosh, I should have read a little bit more of this before I got on here. Okay. He basically asked him to stop. And Mr. Jones believes that KK aided and abetted Mr. Combs' SA of him and was working with Mr. Combs to groom him to accept homosexual relationship. That sucks. I feel bad for him. Mr. Combs attempted to groom Mr. Jones into engaging in gay sex, which again, like I said, it's fine. If he doesn't like it, why are you trying to change it? And you guys can't see the document. Sorry. I just saw. I just saw my face and then I see the comments now. But going back to it, why are you trying to convince him into this? And why in this music industry do these artists allegedly, because remember, this is just a complaint, but I mean, making these kind of allegations, you're going to have, he says he has the proof, but making these kind of allegations, it's, and multiple people making these allegations, why do you feel like you need to have a sexual relationship with everyone that you work with? I would hate to go to a celebrity party at this point, and I feel like a lot of people want to hang out with celebrities. But I'm like, I don't even want to go. You gotta poke me in the butt, like not just like poke my butt cheek, but like literally poke me in the butt. I don't think I'm okay with that. I don't think anybody should be okay with that. You don't even know him like that, okay? Let me see here. Okay, got it. I got it. Give me in the back. Okay, see, Mr. Combs was aware that Mr. Jones looked up to and idolized music producer Stephen Aaron Jordan. Stevie J, don't know if you guys know him. He's on like Love and Hip Hop. He's a little ratchet. And it doesn't surprise me that he's listed in this lawsuit. And I'm wondering why he listed certain celebrities. I guess like he just didn't list the what we would consider mega celebrities, I guess. Which is strange. I wonder why he didn't do that. Stevie J is an American DJ, record producer, and television personality. Throughout the late 1990s, Stevie J produced for several artists, including Mariah Carey, Tevin Campbell, the Notorious B.I.G., 112, Jodeci, Faith Evans, Jay-Z, and Eve. I like all those artists. I think I don't know who Tevin Campbell is off the top of my head. But Stevie J was one of the producers for the Love album. Mr. Combs used access to Stevie J and his knowledge of Mr. Jones' admiration for Stevie J to groom and entice Mr. Jones to engage in homosexuality. We're going to get into some explicit things, so bear with me. Y'all know I get a little bit cringe when I read this kind of things, but okay. Mr. Combs went so far to share a video of Stevie J anally penetrating a Caucasian male without a condom. Why do we need to know all of that? Oh my gosh. He could have just said having sex with a man. Why do we have to know he was Caucasian? Okay, let's go on. Because this was done to ease Mr. Jones' anxiety concerning homosexuality. According to Mr. Combs, this is a normal practice in the music industry. Look, even Stevie J is doing it. Wow, look, your favorite celebrity is doing it, so why don't you do it too? You know what? You can do it with your favorite celebrity. Oh, this is grossing me out already. Okay. I'm trying to not show the picture so much. Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with rapper 5, redacted, R&B singer 6, and Stevie J. Mr. Combs engaged in this with Stevie J, an R&B singer, and a rapper number 5. Let's see who rapper number 5 is. Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, Meek Mill. He performed in the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency, Usher, which really, really pisses me off because I really like Usher, I like Usher. But when I learned that he was basically sent off with Diddy while he was a child without his mother. I was like, okay, something's up with that. And people are always saying things about Diddy and also the music industry, especially the people that are doing it in Atlanta and all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure Usher was probably groomed, the type of music that he was singing as an underage boy, all of the things. And it really pisses me off for Usher because me now, I don't know what he was doing before he made it into this fame game. But Usher literally came in as a kid and his mom sent him with Diddy unsupervised and would make sure her son was talking to her on the phone whenever she called. And I'm like, did you think that he was just exposing her to women, or did you not think it was weird that he wanted that kid living with him, not his kid, living with him? And then it makes me feel weird that Diddy even has so many kids of his own. And then he goes and dates a young girl, 19-year-old girl. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all know this stuff is going on. But what makes me not confused, but I'm a little shocked that this stuff is still going on even after Epstein and also after R. Kelly. I wouldn't expect it to stop, but I would expect them to be a little bit more discreet, which is, I mean, it's out of control. Out of control. I don't even know what to say. Sorry, y'all, I'm scrolling past it quickly. Let's see. The following screenshots are of CBJ they sent him basically a sex tape of him getting it on with a man. Okay. Thanksgiving 2022. Mr. Jones is SA'd by Young Miami's cousin. If you don't know who Young Miami, y'all couldn't even see it, so that's good. If you don't know who Young Miami is, she is a rapper. She's a city girl. She got very popular on her city girl music, right? And he's saying that her cousin tried to SA him by basically going into the bathroom when he was in there and trying to give him oral. He refused. He left. Then she just tried to engage in full on sex with him in front of a whole party, which, I mean, does it surprise me? No, it doesn't. And he basically rejected her, and he has photos showing this is the party, Diddy hanging out with the producer, and then I guess this is the cousin that tried to assault him because that the other girl is Young Miami. So there's that. Trafficking and Victims Protection Act. Throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones was transported from California to New York, Florida, and United States. We've talked about this in other lawsuits where they're trying to engage in sexual contact with someone, but they're crossing them across state lines. It would be considered trafficking because you're crossing us across state lines. Now, he also says that Diddy made him hire S workers, and he gets into the fact that they are also dealing with underage girls. Let's see the S workers that Combs made him bring back. Let's see. He woke up in a bed with an S worker that he claims he didn't consent to sleeping with, but somehow this person slept with him and he felt like he was drugged, in so many words. Let's see. He also solicited more sex workers. Let's see. Booby trap on the river. Okay, so as part of Mr. Jones' S worker recruitment tool, Mr. Combs provided Mr. Jones with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap and required him to wear it to booby trap on the river as a signal to any S worker he approached that Mr. Combs was in town and had sent Mr. Jones to recruit them. What? Really? Mr. Jones had no desire to visit Booby Trap on the River. What is Booby Trap on the River? Mr. Jones had no desire to solicit S workers from Booby Trap on the River. Mr. Combs used his power and influence to intimidate and force Jones to basically solicit these workers. We're going to scroll by because we do not want to get in trouble by YouTube. There is a phone number for a S worker. Okay. Mr. Combs used many tactics to maintain dominion and control over Mr. Jones. He promised him a Grammy for Producer of the Year for the Love album. He offered him $250,000 to purchase all of the instruments he wanted. He promised him ownership of his $20 million property, One Star Island in Miami, Florida. He promised access to a record label executives like defendant Lucian Charles Grange and Ethiopia Hartemariam. Okay, so he basically just tried to influence him. At some point, he threatened to unalive Mr. Jones' mother, or that he would unalive his own mother. Diddy threatened that he would unalive his own mother if he must, in order to get whenever he wants to get what he wants, basically. Mr. Combs and Jay Combs solicits drugs and engages in illicit sex acts with minors and workers. So again, they're talking about the underage girls. Basically states that he's making everyone in the party, including the underage girls and the workers, drink alcohol, the De Leon that he owns, laced with what he says is ecstasy. Okay, let's see. Okay, and apparently this one involved Chris Brown. And why? I think this is a topic we could have like offline or on a different time, but I just don't understand, one, how these little girls get into these parties, two, where these little girls' parents are to let them into these parties, three, why these grown men are okay with these little girls being in these parties, and four, they're engaging with these little girls in these parties. I think that's completely like ridiculous, unheard of. I mean, it's not unheard of. It's weird. It's weird. I can't, like, I will never be able to understand that. You can have all the adult women that you want, and you want little girls that are like, well, barely developed, but I mean, I guess they don't have to be developed because, you know, they're liking boys who don't have the same body parts as girls. So I can't. And he has daughters. And no wonder why he had his daughters dressing explicitly when they turned 16. Well, does that not shock us why his daughters are dressed like that now? Come on. I just can't. I don't know how much more of this I can go through. He basically said that Cuba Gooding, he was also recently, I believe he was in a criminal case for SA and he lost. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe it wasn't criminal, but he just had a case for SA and he lost. So does it surprise me that he's also SAing allegedly this man? No, he basically was fondling him. I don't want to go through all the words about it. The Love album, Mr. Combs and defendants LR, MR, UMG all benefited from Mr. Jones' work product. They failed to compensate, so they didn't even pay him. All this work that he did over a year and some change, or a year and a half, really, or almost 2 years, really, they never paid him. So Mr. Jones attempted to work with Mr. Combs to secure his publishing and royalty rights for the work he completed on the Love album. Mr. Combs only offered him $29,000 for 13 months of thousands of hours of work and 9 songs that made it to the Love album. Ironically, Mr. Jones was willing to take $50,000, his publishing and royalties. Mr. Combs, self-serving, agreed would not allow him to pay Mr. Jones the additional $21,000, which is ridiculous because this man probably spends that on drugs in one party. Ridiculous. Mr. Combs' deceptive business practices became so bad that Mr. Jones was left with no choice other than to make a public plea on social media for Mr. Combs to pay him for his work. After publicly requesting Mr. Combs do the right thing to pay him fairly, Mr. Jones received an onslaught of threatening messages from Stevie J and Love Records A&R DeForest Taylor. Let's see. Say you 100% layer, not liar, layer, and weirdo. Good luck. Numbers still the same. Run inward. Come talk to me in public on a public podcast and forum. That's weird. That's a weird threat. Mr. Combs used his power and influence to threaten and intimidate Mr. Jones. They went on. Diddy's former bodyguard accuses rapper of snitching. Okay, we got some other stuff going on. He basically told him that he was the one responsible for shooting this guy in the club. And he gets away with it. He said that this guy can help him get away with shooting people or getting rid of people if he needed them to. Defendants, let's see. And then basically that the music labels aided and abetted in him doing these kind of things. It's no secret that Mr. Combs has specific bottles of alcohol designated for females and other bottles designated for his staff, his artists, and himself. This fact was detailed by a former artist and bodyguard to Mr. Combs. That's ridiculous. Are you serious? I don't even understand why people want to hang out with famous people. Like, this is so disgusting. It's so disgusting. Oh my gosh. So on a YouTube channel, The Art of Dialogue, former bodyguard Gene Deal exposed Mr. Combs' pill mixing method used to spike cranberry juice and orange juice. According to Mr. Deal, Mr. Combs would place ecstasy and other date rape jubs in the juices. On YouTube, on The Art of Dialogue, former artist Mark Curry exposed Mr. Combs spiking bottles of Moet champagne in the VIP section of nightclubs. Mr. Combs would have a set of Moet champagne bottles for his artists and a set for women. This is gross. This is so gross. Let's see. They basically say that this lady, Christina Karam, is like the Ghislaine Maxwell for Epstein, where she basically like recruited girls for him, kind of helped him get away with different things, got the drugs for him, made other people do drugs with him. Let's see here. They did the freak offs, just like what's her name? Cassie talked about. Justin Combs was the one soliciting prostitutes, underage girls, and sex workers. He would engage in freak out. You having orgies with your son? Like, it's one thing to do it with other grown men and other grown women, whatever, do what makes you happy. But with your son, I feel like that's child abuse in itself. I know his son is not a child anymore, but I can't imagine that this stuff had started when his son was an adult. He's weird. Oh my God. He's really weird. You know, I know this is a tough thing to talk about, but if y'all haven't already, please do hit the stream. It helps us out in the algorithm. Don't know how far we're going to get in the algorithm with all the pictures and crazy things going on in this. I'm disgusted. I don't even know what else to say other than I'm disgusted. Like, the Cassie lawsuit was bad, but this one is like, it's overwhelming. Brendan Paul works as Mr. Combs' mule. He acquires and distributes Mr. Combs' drugs and guns. Let's see here. This is Brendan Paul. I guess he's the one that collects the guns. They get drugs. Is that? Oh, no, that's the guy. Moy Braun, hired sex worker, attends and participates in freak-offs. But, I mean, sorry, you also hired the sex workers, but by force, okay, we'll do that. But maybe they were by force, too. Moy Braun, Thanksgiving 2022, when Mr. Combs offered Mr. Jones cocaine. And he's basically trying to establish that this is a RICO enterprise, and people help him accomplish these things, just like the R. Kelly situation, honestly. Okay, Mr. Combs is allowed to wreak havoc. He basically goes around doing all of these things and then threatens people so that you don't tell on them. And then they go ahead and go through all of the charges, or not the charges, but the claims against them. Remember, this is a civil lawsuit. So unfortunately, Diddy would not be going to jail because of these things. So there's that. Let me comment back to... Okay, so I'm gonna get to y'all comments. I don't even know what to say, y'all. I think I underestimated what was in this lawsuit. I did skim through it, and that's why we were able to skip around a little bit. But boy, oh boy, like, I don't even feel okay after reading this stuff. And I'm sorry that I put y'all through it. I really am sorry. But I just knew this was a case that needed to be covered and needed to be talked about and to go through the actual complaint. I'm not going to go through all of the claims because we do have to jump over to Lauren the Mortician, which thankfully is a little bit lighter than this topic. And it won't be as, what do you call it? Overwhelming. So let me go ahead and jump into the comments real quick, and then we can move on to Lauren the Mortician because, like I said, it's a little lighter. Bossy, bring us in. Let's see. All right, let me get one more second in the back channel. Kimmy, if you could wait like 5 minutes before starting the next stream, that would be helpful. Okay, let me go ahead and get into the comments. Thank y'all all who have hit the like button because this was tough. It was tough. So I appreciate y'all for supporting still. Cardova82 says, I know I'm late, but great evening to the Queen Bree and the Bree Hive. Hello and welcome into the live stream. Nice to have you here tonight. Sorry it's such an aggressive topic. Just Me MD says, hey, Kimmy Bree, are you not running around with a chicken and your head cut off? At this point, yeah, yes, I am. Just Me MD says he's suing everybody and they mama. He did sue a lot of people. He listed the whole industry at that point. Kimmy Walker says there's a lot of name dropping in this lawsuit. It was, and it was like, well, why even redact the name just to tell us who it is? You knew this was going to create buzz. I think even the fact that it's the first man bringing this lawsuit against him, that would have created buzz on itself. But you start putting Meek Mill in there, Chris Brown in there, and Usher in there. You Young Miami, you are causing buzz. Stevie J, although he's not like a mega celebrity, he's a celebrity enough, right? Let's see here. Just Me MD says, I would like to know why he chose to out some and redact others. That's what I was thinking too. I'm thinking more of like the mega stars and the ones that didn't actually do things to him. He didn't name, because remember when he mentioned Chris Brown, Usher, and Meek Mill, it was just him saying that they participated in other things, or like Diddy told him that he engaged in the orgy with all four men. Usher, Meek Mill, Diddy, and Stevie J all engaged in sexual conduct together, which is, why do you need to tell people? Like, if that's what you want to do, fine. But why do we need to know? Well, I guess we wouldn't have known if this guy didn't come out and tell us. But geez Louise. Since it wasn't like actual allegations against them, I'm thinking maybe that's why he tried to keep them private in quotation marks, because he didn't really do a good job at them. But I don't know. It's either that or the mega stars that he didn't want to get in trouble. I don't know. Cardova82 says the Smalls, things are not going right for him. Time to move to Saturn. Yeah, Diddy is going down. Like, I don't know how he's going to recover from this. Like, Cassie hit him hard. The other two lawsuits to me didn't really hit him that hard. I didn't look at those lawsuits, but this one, taking him down, the tequila thing, taking him down. That lawsuit's not even going forward anymore. He is just, they're handing it to him for sure. Small says to Cardova82, bruh, right? Karma said it's time to collect, and they're collecting all of their coins because he's gonna have to pay these people out. And if you remember with R. Kelly, this is how it started. And maybe not everyone filing lawsuits publicly. Well, I don't know, because I was a little younger back then, but people filing lawsuits against him, he's paying people off. Diddy is about to have to pay all these people off. The crazy part, though, is that he's threatening these people, and they're still confident enough to come out with this, thinking that he's not going to do anything to them. And I mean, people say that Diddy is behind the BIG shooting, and that, I would believe it, but I also believe a lot of things if you give me enough facts, right? Let's see. Just Me MD says the Smalls, doing well. This is so cringing and nauseating. It was hard to read. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't want to go anywhere this trial, let alone be on the jury. I wouldn't even be able to listen past like the first two sentences. I'll be like, yep, he did it. You make him pay. Small says, that's what I want to know. Where are the parents? Unfortunately, I know the answer to the other question. The thing about it with the parents. Sometimes they know, like with R. Kelly, some of them were putting their daughters out there. Like, what do you think they were doing with these young? Like, do you not hear the music that they make? Do you not hear? And it just makes me like, oh my gosh, I gotta take songs off my playlist because what's going on? Like, I knew he was weird, but I didn't know he was this weird. Like, oh man. Oh man. Small says, don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already. Yes, we had a like goal of 30 and we are at 23 likes, 12 people watching live. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do so we can hit our like goal for the stream. As you know, we're about to pop out of here in a minute and funnel you over right into our Lauren the Mortician stream that hopefully I can make it through because I'm already tripping over my words. I'm already tripping over my words today. Kamal says, assuming it's all true, this isn't the most credible suit I've ever seen, though. I'm definitely inclined to believe a lot off of reputation alone. That's me. I'm a more off of reputation, and people have been saying this for so many years. At some point, come on. Like I said, even him just taking Usher into his house without his mama there, that's weird. Like, oh my gosh. All right. Okay. So yeah, there's that. Let me I don't think I have to do anything to redirect it. I think it will just redirect if I end the stream, right? I think so. Just me MD says, no, I saw Natalie coverage and couldn't get through it. It's too much. It's bad. Small says a little hot. Stevie J is the definition of a mess. Yeah, he is a mess. He is. Small says disgusting is the right word. That's the only word I can think of. Because this is out of control. And people think it's okay. They can't possibly think this is okay. I said I should have did just a short on this, and I should have, because now I feel weird and I feel like my brain is not thinking properly. And he didn't even really highlight the underage girl thing. He really highlighted more of the gay sex thing, which is, like I said, there's no problem with that. The problem becomes when you try to start forcing it on people, right? And someone's telling you like, hey, dude, I don't swing that way, but that's fine if y'all got that going on, but I don't want to be involved with it, right? Because it's still rape. You can rape a man, you know, you shouldn't be poking people in their butt. Like, oh my gosh. Island says can't hang out, but wanted to say hi, hello, welcome in. Thank you for stopping by. All right, let me go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all. I thank y'all all for bearing with me on this stream. If y'all do want to hit more, make sure to drop it in the comment section once the stream is over. If you are good on this lawsuit, also make sure to drop it in the comment section. Be sure to hit the like button. I know it was tough to get through, but these are things that need to be talked about. And hopefully we can get Diddy off the street somehow, because remember, Cassie filing that lawsuit is trying to get those criminal charges brewing up. And this one, really, the guns, the drugs, my guy is trying to get a lot of criminal charges brewed up against Diddy. And the thing is, I don't know if they'll get him off the street. I just don't know if they would do that. But yes, thank y'all all for joining me live. Let me see if I can actually get the other stream rolling, and then maybe that can make things go smoothly as well. Because I don't know. Oh no, it looks like I'm already live. So it looks like Kimmy's already live. So all good over there. Thank you, Kimmy. I will see y'all all in the Lauren the Mortician live stream. If you don't get redirected, I believe that Kimmy put a link to the live stream for Lauren the Mortician in the description box. So bye. See y'all all in a second.